We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Ian. Ian's theater gets quite hot during the summer. He likes to have gatherings with quite a few friends over, so he's thinking of setting up a system for outdoor movie nights. He has a concrete block wall where he can set up a projection screen. The wall is much wider than is tall, so he was thinking a 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio would look best. He's thinking of he'd make the screen 160 inches wide, which would be a 174-inch diagonal 2.35 to 1 screen, or 184 inches 16 by 9.
Now, I did just want to update. Ian actually wrote to us just before the podcast started.
Yeah.
And he was like, maybe I'll go for a 16 by 9 screen after all.
Yeah.
So he did update us with that. Now, the rest of it still applies, but so we might be going for a 16 by 9.
Okay. So starting with the screen, the place to go for inexpensive DIY outdoor screen material seems to be Carl's Place. They offer DIY screen materials with finished black vinyl edges and mounting grommets already installed. They also offer framing kits, both hanging and freestanding, a number of different screen materials. They're offered in a number of standard sizes, but there are some large jumps in those available sizes. Their FAQ says they can be custom sizes, though. What should be the plan here? Ian wants to keep the price as low as possible. He'll be using existing equipment that he already owns for everything else, so the outdoor screen is the big purchase. Custom size versus standard available size. What material? Make his own frame or buy one of their kits? And could a freestanding frame allow him to make the screen acoustically transparent with the speakers behind the screen? All right. That's a lot of things he just said.
So that last part, the acoustically transparent screen, I would not attempt that outside.
So is this thing going to live out here forever? Because I think that's a terrible idea.
No. Because he's talking speakers and stuff also are actually from inside. So he's
going to drag it all outside.
Yeah, he's going to drag it all outside for movie night and then bring it all back inside.
I mean, there's like those inflatable screens and everything that you can get these days. And there's ones that you can tension and stuff. Like Clint's got one of those. That's like it's massive. I don't know how big it is. It's 200, 300
He was
inches.
thinking what he could do, though, is just basically secure because this is a grommet system that Carl's Place uses. So he could just secure the hooks into that wall, because it's just a block wall.
Right.
So he can have the hooks for the grommets in the wall and then just put the screen up.
Are people seeing this image? For those of you that are listening, there's no covering. This is just literally a backyard.
Open backyard.
There's a tree, like maybe slightly over it. Can't really see the one that's behind it on the picture here. So it's something he's just going to set up, put up and take down. Okay, all right. So he's going to put the grommets in, and then he's going to store it somehow in his whatever, and that's it.
Yeah.
I personally, and I've already said on this podcast today, I don't like custom screen sizes. They are ridiculously expensive. I mean,
in this case, though, the jumps in sizes that they offer are kind of ridiculous.
I'm going to click on this link here so I can see what you're talking about here. Go
on. Because I mean, this all is going to get into light output capability of his projector and things like that. Now he's sort of settled on the idea, because one of their standard screen sizes is 16 feet wide and 9 feet tall. Not 16 by 9, obviously, right? That is a monstrous screen. That is over 220 inches diagonal.
It's a big one. This is a big backyard, though. I mean,
it's a big backyard, but I mean that is the entire height of that wall, and the projector light output that you'd need in that situation, it's getting nuts. I wouldn't. I know it's tempting to just go enormous.
There's a 165-inch diagonal one right here for $200. I'm looking at. Isn't that?
But that's not as big as he wants.
I thought he said 185 is what he was wanting, right?
Yeah. And then it jumps to like
214.
Well over 200. That's a crazy gap in their standard sizes.
Yeah, but what's the difference? That difference in price is like $40 though. Not even that.
Yeah, of the screen, but think about the projector you need to jump from 165 to 250.
No, I hear what you're saying. But
that's the problem.
Yeah. So you're saying just go with the 140-inch.
I'm saying get a custom screen size.
Well, how much is the price difference for the custom screen size?
Like $20 extra.
No.
Yeah.
You're lying. Really?
No, because they churn these things out. They're all over it, man.
For $20, okay, fine, whatever. The
Yeah,
last
I
time
mean, the difference is you can't return it. That's the difference. You can't
the
return
last
it if
time
it's
I priced any of these things, it was like stupid. It was like $1,000.
Yeah, but that's like a full motorized installation screen. You build a custom one of those, it's way more work.
It's the same.
This is a piece of fabric with some grommets in it. That's all it is. They literally just cut it at a different size and do the same process.
If it's only
barely
20, yeah, then fine. But he's still looking for what, 185 inches? Is that what I remember reading?
Yeah, 185
It's
inches.
still
diagonal,
a pretty
more or less.
monstrous projector.
That is a monstrous screen, but it like the 200 inches is like the cutoff, man. You go bigger than 200 inches, you need like a 5,000 lumen projector all of a sudden. It starts going nuts.
See, my problem is this. Let me put it to you this way, dude. How far away? Once again, we got to talk about how far away we're going to be sitting from these things.
Yeah.
I know how big of a wall you have. That is really not the image. That's not the issue here. Yes, you have a big wall. Yes, you have a big backyard. You are going to have movie nights outside. How far away from this screen are you going to sit? Because that's not only going to determine how big your screen is going to be or how bright your projector has to be, but how loud your speakers have to be and how much sound you're going to be pumping into the neighborhood so that you can hear it at a reasonable volume. Because when you can hear it at a reasonable volume, when you're sitting, well, however far you got to sit from a 184-inch screen, 185-inch screen, however far you're going to be sitting from that, everybody else for like 5-6 houses away are hearing the exact same thing or very close to it. I mean, it's going to be a lot of sound. So, maybe think about the size of the screen.
For multiple reasons. I mean, I can't recommend going for the screen that is 16 feet wide.
Yeah,
I can't recommend doing that. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. Anyway, for the screen materials, go for one of the PVC-based screens. Don't go for anything else. Don't go for fabric. Right. Don't go for silver-coated. Don't go for just a PVC-based screen.
Right.
Now, they offer that in white and gray. Right?
What white? You're going to be watching this.
Just get the white.
You're going to be watching this at night, right? I mean, I can't imagine you're going to be watching it at night.
And he's like, if I get the gray screen, could that mean maybe I can start watching earlier in the day? No, sunlight will wash out anything.
Yeah.
The gray ain't going to make a difference.
The sun is like a bazillion lumens.
So you got to wait for it to get dark and just get the white PVC screen. That's all you want. The gray ain't going to make a lick of difference outside.
His major concern is the brightness of the image. He has an Epson 8350. He also has access to a BenQ 1070, but both are rated at 2,000 lumens max. And according to Projector Central's calculator, it goes with initial 160-inch screen width. You get a maximum of 10-foot Lamberts. If you went with one of Carl's Place standard screen sizes, the screen would be even larger, so you get like 8 or 9-foot Lamberts. Is that too dim? I mean, yes.
I mean,
it's not. It's certainly not bright. You would not think you were inside your house watching this, or at a movie theater watching it. You would think it's dim. That's what you would think.
If you go to a normal 3D movie, a lot of those are like 4 lumens coming through the glasses by the time it reaches your eye. And what's everybody's complaint about that? Too dim.
Yeah.
Now 8 or 9 lumens is watchable. It's viewable. It's not what I would call like impressive. You'll see it. It's fine. You'll be able to watch the movie at 8 or 9 lumen. Or
it would be. To me, in my mind, this would be similar to watching a normal screen, a normal TV or whatever, when there's lights on in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of washed out a little bit. Can you see it? Yeah. Can you read it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit washed out. That's what it's going to look like. Is that what you want? Because I'm guessing he doesn't.
Now, I will say, even though they're both rated at 2,000 lumens max, the BenQ 1070 can be much brighter with something that resembles decent color.
Yeah.
All right? That 8350, once you calibrate it to something resembling decent color, it's down to like 700 lumens.
Yeah.
It's a big drop off. Now, he discovered himself, Projector Central's calculator actually does let you change the format, because he was like, that the math doesn't work out. Even if it's only 1,000 lumens coming out, it still should be a slightly more than 10-foot Lamberts on a 160-inch width screen. And Projector Central actually does account for putting it into theater mode, essentially.
Yeah.
So the BenQ 1070, if you put it in its bright cinema mode, can genuinely put out about 1,500 lumens, right? So the 160-inch width that you initially thought of, that works out to exactly 100 square feet. So if you divide the number of lumens by the number of square feet, you get the foot Lamberts. So you're talking 15 foot Lamberts in that bright cinema mode from the BenQ 1070. That's doable. But like I say, you start going any bit, especially go over 200 inches diagonal, it's too dim. So your initial screen size, actually, I think is fine. Instead of being 2.35 to 1, I'm fine with it being 16 by 9. But the widest I would go is 14 feet wide. That is the absolute widest I would go, would be 14 feet wide. So I'll put it to you that way. And out of those two, use the 1070. It's the brighter one with something resembling accurate colors.
For audio, he tried bringing his RBH impression series R55 Ti towers outside and powered them with a Zemotiva UPA 700 amp. Even though he lives close to the freeway, he was pleasantly surprised by how good they sounded and how they were able to play loud enough to be enjoyable despite the ambient noise. Should he make an effort to also bring his center and surround speakers outside? And what about his HSU VTF 15 Mark II? I wouldn't. I mean, I gotta be honest with you.
That's a lot of schlepping.
That's a lot of schlepping. It's a lot of wires that you're gonna have to. I mean, if it were me, I would just put up the mains and call it a day. They're gonna be super wide apart anyways, so everybody's gonna be sitting in the phantom center zone anyways.
Yeah.
This center doesn't. The surrounds, it would be nice. It would be nice to have the surrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it would be super worth it. It will enhance the experience? I believe it would.
I'll bet you what you're going to do is you're going to bring the whole 5.1 system out there and the screen and everything, and you're going to do that once.
Yeah.
And every time after that, you're going to bring out 2 speakers.
Yeah, I believe
think
so.
That's
too.
what's going to happen.
Now the subwoofer, is it going to add something? Yeah.
I mean the 15.
It's a big
VTF
sub.
15. That's a big honking. So it'll add some bass, all right.
Yeah.
Your neighbors might complain.
Yeah. I think that they're already going to be irritated. I mean, even if they're over there, at some point, someone's going to be mad. And that subwoofer is not going to make you any friends. So you might just want to skip that for right now. So he asks, any other thoughts or ideas about his outdoor movie nights? Yeah, I think we're going to piss some people off. But that's being said, directly next door to my friend's house, there is a screened-in porch with a projector on it. And they watch TV and stuff out there all the time. They keep it at a reasonable volume. They sit awfully close. They're not sitting however far away you're planning on sitting. So it's fine. I think you really, really need to think about practical applications. I hate to quote Jurassic Park, but don't be so busy thinking about whether or not you could that you don't consider whether or not you should.
Yeah.
Because in real use situations as well, are you absolutely going to drag out all these speakers all this time? Are you going to be sitting that far away? I mean,
are you going to be sitting far enough away that even with those R55 Ti towers that they're going to be able to play loud enough, right?
Or do you have to sit so far away? I mean, are you going to be sitting so far away that screen size makes sense? Maybe you will end up sitting closer. I mean, how many people you having over with a screen size this big? Thinking like 20, 30 people? Is that like really going to be?
I mean, it could be, but yeah, like 185-inch screen. Think about that.
Ridiculous, dude.
You're sitting like a minimum of 15 feet away from that, right?
Right.
So my thought on this is put the seats closer and get a smaller screen. That's going to benefit you in multiple ways. It's going to mean the sound is better.
Right.
It's going to mean you don't have to play it so loud that you're killing your neighbors. It's going to mean it's easier to light with any projector because it's a smaller screen. Put the seats closer.
Yeah.
That's my thought on it.
Yeah. So moving to his indoor theater, Ian is getting the Atmos itch. First up, based on some of our previous advice, he installed 2 speakers on each side wall as his surround channels so that he would have better coverage for his multiple rows of seats. He managed to snag a pair of RBH pole impression series surround speakers, though, even though they're discontinued. So now he's thinking of maybe the bipoles could handle the surround channels on their own. Then he could repurpose his 2 pairs of bookshelf speakers as top front and top rear Atmos speakers. Do we think that's a good idea? So rather than having 2 surround speakers, he's thinking of having one bipole speaker.
That's the thought he's got in mind. Yep. And kind of splitting the difference, right? So instead of having,
I'm trying to see these pictures. This is the first. I didn't get this far in the question list when we were getting.
yeah, instead of having a regular bookshelf wall-mounted speaker that's more or less in line with each of his 2 rows of seats, he'd have a single bipole speaker that's in between the 2 rows, so that its angled faces.
That'd be fine for your front row of seats. Your second row
yeah.
of seats they're gonna be able to know that that's in front of them and not to the side.
It's
of
a little bit compromised for the second row.
How
That's
much
true.
do you care about that second row of seats?
Yes.
If you don't care that much about the second row of seats, then it's fine. If you do care about that second row of seats, then you shouldn't do it.
I agree with all of that, Tom.
Okay, I scrolled. So wait a second. Okay, so I do need to scroll to get to the next part of the question. Okay, there's a lot of scrolling going on right now. Oh, I scrolled too far. So his Atmos receiver is a Denon X4100W, which can process a maximum of 9 channels. Does it make more sense in this setup to do a 7.1.2 or 7.1 or 5.1.4? Well, Rob has already stated that he believes that if you're going to put 2 speakers above you, you should put 4. So Rob's going to say 5.2.4 because we should have 2 subwoofers in here.
It's a big room.
It is a big room.
But it is a VTF 15, so he got a big sub. Yeah,
I wish I could see this a little bit better. I'm not really understanding what I'm seeing here.
I mean, he was saying that. Now he mentioned he normally sits in the front row, so that kind of answers that question. And he's like, the surround back speakers are like way back there for where he sits. So all of it to me says when you're limited to 9 speakers, I'd go 5.2.4. Yeah. That'd be my vote.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.